Hi, my name is Julia. I'm a child and family therapist who works with kids and teens and parents here at Empower. One of the areas of specialty for me as an occupational therapist, as well as a therapist who has worked in healthcare settings, is helping kids and their caregivers, their families, who have medical anxiety or perhaps have experienced a medical trauma. So today's video is about how to help your child when facing anxiety or avoidance, or maybe even really strong panic about going for routine or maybe more specialized medical care. This is a huge topic, and there's lots of resources and information. Today, I'm going to focus on the idea of how to co-regulate your child's anxiety at the doctor. And I wanted to start by talking just a little bit about emotional regulation, which is a term we hear so much, and starting with just an understanding of how to regulate yourself, and then considering how to regulate with your child might be valuable. When we regulate an emotion, the emotion is present. We feel it in a way that we recognize as discomfort, and that is the experience of the emotion. To regulate an emotion is to become aware it's there in a conscious way that sort of keeps you in a place of choice. You're aware that you're being influenced by that emotion. You're aware that you're uncomfortable, and you are choosing instead of reacting. So when we do this with a child, we are working with a brain that does not yet have the wiring, the capability, or at least not consistent ability to do this self-reflection. I'm aware of what's happening, and I'm aware of a need to pay attention, and I'm able to kind of feel in control enough to respond. I may ask for help. That's an example of regulatory behavior. And so in these moments when kids are having a really strong feeling that they don't know what to do about, we have an opportunity to co-regulate with them. And I always say to parents, co-regulation, it really starts from the inside of the parent. And so when you're co-regulating with a child, it's important to be able to, in a double way, you're keeping your child in mind, and you're keeping yourself in mind. You're thoughtful about where you're at. You may be aware sometimes that you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling impatient. When your child is anxious at the doctor, there's all sorts of very expectable feelings a parent may be having. And it's important to know that, and also be able to stay in a place of attending fully and stably to your child. If being at the doctor is stressful for you, if you are perhaps feeling scrutinized or judged by people around you, whether that's concern for the healthcare provider, maybe you're running late that day, perhaps you have multiple others, your other children are there, all of that can factor into what your child sees in you, and kids look to parents to know how to feel. So whatever it takes for you to feel regulated with the appointment you bring your child for is important. That means you have a good relationship with the healthcare provider. You feel good about the office staff that you're working with. You feel comfortable that you can ask questions or make requests. All of that will help your child feel safe, reflecting in a way off of your own sense of safety and security. When we respond to children who have identified or demonstrated that they are afraid, we often have a first instinct to fix. We either offer them information or coping strategies. We try to challenge what seems like very catastrophic thinking. We are skipping a very important step if we go right to fixing the feeling. Feelings are not a sign of brokenness. And so I challenge you to think about the fact that feelings are there to be felt, not fixed. I love that idea. It comes from a department at Lurie Children's Hospital that you can find at most pediatric hospitals, the Child Life Specialist Department. And they are a really great resource. If you are seeking hospital care with your child, ask for a child life specialist to be involved. The idea of felt safety comes from feeling very heard and respected for whatever that feeling is. We start by simply letting children feel like we're listening and we're taking it seriously. That may sound like in some ways, kind of agreeing with your child. Yeah, you're really scared. Oh, yes, I hear you. You're really scared. Oh, this is hard. I am here. Oh, that must be so hard. And when children can feel accompanied, there is an ability to accept help then, but we can't be sure, and any of us, that someone can help us until we feel like they've really heard us. So giving that attention, giving that validation, which is different than saying, oh, I can see you are. It's a lot more reflecting back to the child, however they're describing the situation to you. And at that point, you may find your child is ready to do some breathing with you or is ready to hold on to a stuffy. But don't skip that step. So just to review, co-regulating starts with giving your full, stable, serious attention to your child. So you're not anxious, you're not impatient. You are fully respecting the importance of what they're trying to describe to you. And then you're offering your presence. You are here to help. You will not let them feel alone. That you are ready and able to be right next to them through the whole thing. When we can shift children into connecting with us, they move out of sort of the interior focus on the anxiety and towards a connection to us. And what we know from brain science is from that perspective, we have access to the part of the brain that is registering fear and danger, and emotional security can regulate physical insecurity. And so with the power of a strong relationship and felt trust, we can be that stabilizing, co-regulating emotional presence for children. If you are seeking more specialized help, if you are seeking more support for yourself or for your child or for both of you, I would encourage you to think about individual or family therapy. This can be a great place to have lots of creative ways to help your child continue to develop some emotional resilience for medical care. And if you have a history of medical trauma that you feel is making it hard to be present for your child, that would also be really important and really helpful for your child to get some help with. And again, I want to mention in healthcare settings that serve kids, oftentimes the input or direct service of a child life specialist is available. And so I encourage you to look into that. And just a final thought is take your time finding healthcare providers for your child that you feel comfortable with. They should be available to partner with you, to help you problem solve concerns specific to your child. And you should feel good about how they interact with you and your child during appointments. That's a very important piece of the sense of having a team. I hope that this has been helpful. And thank you so much for your interest in keeping your child healthy and the inside and the outside.